Thursday, April 30th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. A couple of web cameras across the state of North Carolina. Avalon Pier web camera on the left. The Beach Mountain Parkway cam, courtesy of resortcams.com on the right. You look at that Avalon Pier web camera, you can see the sky just beginning to brighten as we approach sunrise. 50s there along the Outer Banks. 40s in many mountain spots this morning. Yesterday, temperatures were fairly pleasant, but the further south you went in the region, the more the rain that occurred. I'll show you the rain totals from yesterday here in just a moment. There's a peek at the temperatures here during the 5 o'clock hour this morning. 47 in Columbia, 55 along the coast in Myrtle Beach and Charleston, 53 in Raleigh, 48 in Greensboro and Boone this morning. There's the current radar perspective. I'll detail that in just a second, but here are your 24-hour rain totals across the region. And again, as expected, the further south you went, the more rain there was, and vice versa. As you got up toward the Triad, not a lot of measurable rain at all yesterday. Really, most of the Charlotte metro did not get much measurable rain until you got into the eastern portions of the viewing area. But, boy, some pretty big rain totals down into parts of South Carolina and Georgia. A couple of corridors where you have some 2 to 3 inch plus rain totals there. One a little bit north of I-20. Another area down there, you got into southeastern parts of Georgia and coastal South Carolina. Some, again, pretty big rain numbers from yesterday. All right, on to the radar perspective this morning. It is raining in eastern North Carolina in many spots as I'm cutting this video. Some showers over that way. And a few showers have been pivoting through the foothill areas there, through Wilkes and Yadkin and Surry counties. That activity will diminish as we go through the next couple of hours, but watch what happens this afternoon as we have some upper-level energy off to the north. It's causing these showers you see right now over parts of the Ohio Valley. As that energy gets overhead, really it's a pocket of cooler temperatures aloft, and as that moves overhead, coincident with the daytime heating today, the result will be a pretty good scattering of some showers and a few isolated thunderstorms. There we are at 2 o'clock. You can see those scattered showers developing, and the coverage will only increase from there. A few thunderstorms could be involved, and this is a scenario where, due to those cold temperatures aloft, could see a few storms produce some small hail or a gusty wind, or a wind gust or two, I guess is what I'm trying to say, as we go through this afternoon. But then very quickly after sunset, a lot of those showers fade away. So again, that's the broad perspective today. As we get into the heating of the day, scattered showers and a few isolated thunderstorms will develop. Here's your high temperatures across the region today. A lot of us warmer than yesterday. Now tomorrow, that low pressure slowly pulls away, and briefly we're going to get a cooler day tomorrow. Could be some lingering areas of light rain or a few showers. The chances tomorrow will increase the further east you go in the region. And you see here on the Futurecast modeling that the temperatures held down a bit tomorrow due to that temporarily northerly flow in place on the backside of that departing low. So here's what we're going with for highs tomorrow across the region. Really, though, everything still looks great for the weekend. High pressure slowly working into the region. Your Saturday highs in the 70s, and then we continue to add on to the warmth from there. Here's your Sunday highs. You begin to see some 80s creeping into southeastern North Carolina, down to South Carolina. And again, as we get into next work week, it's a pretty warm setup. That high pressure begins to head out to sea. Southwesterly flow gets firmly established, and the warmth will crank. In fact, again, here's a snapshot of what we're going with for Tuesday's highs next week across the region. Pretty warm indeed. All right, so just on to some of the higher resolution charts here. This is the 4-kilometer NAM from Weather Bell, and this is valid 3 o'clock. You see a few of those showers developing. The coverage increases a bit as you get toward late afternoon and into the evening. Now, no formal severe weather outlook for today, just a general thunderstorm outlook across parts of the region, and that's the deal. I think a few isolated storms as this pocket of upper-level energy, this cold air aloft moves overhead. This is the European model valid early this afternoon, and then here we are around daybreak tomorrow as that system pivots overhead. So, on to the GFS modeling. This is early this afternoon, and then there's the afternoon and early evening precipitation today, and those are your scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Now, as we get into your Friday, you notice, again, the further east you go in the region, the better the rain chances will be. There might be a brief shower or two around the Charlotte area, but it's not going to be anything to really cause any problems. Any of those outdoor plans or ball games tomorrow evening in the Charlotte metro area really shouldn't have any big problems. Any showers that are passing through should be very light and brief, and again mainly focused off into eastern North Carolina. So there you go. This is the chart for Friday evening, and you can see all that precipitation kind of exiting off to the east. Friday highs on the GFS modeling held down over eastern North Carolina. Really held down everywhere, but it's 50s over eastern North Carolina. I think mid to maybe some low 60s in a lot of other spots. Now we get out to Saturday, looking pretty good. Here's your Saturday highs across the region. Low to mid 70s. Sunday, we're in great shape, and here come the warmer temperatures working on in. You see some of those deeper shades of orange and red. That's the warmer and warmer air arriving. Here we go. Monday, high pressure beginning to shift offshore. Southwesterly flow established. There's your Monday highs, upper 70s to lower 80s in many spots across the region, and it gets warmer from there. This is Tuesday. Now, I also want to point out, you get down here into the Bahamas, and that's where you're beginning to see this little hybrid type of subtropical low try to develop. You'll see that on the future charts here in just a moment. There's your high temperatures for Tuesday, lower 80s in many locations across the region. And there's that subtropical low cranking by later Wednesday. Now the GFS brings a little disturbance in Wednesday that tries to kick off a few showers or thunderstorms. I have not included that into the forecast for the time being. The European keeps that further northward, so I'll just go with a partly cloudy Wednesday sky in my on-air forecast today. And look at that. That's a lot of mid-80s on the GFS charts there for Wednesday afternoon. So the warmth continues to build next week. Thursday, subtropical low offshore, not close enough to play a huge role in our weather. And there's your Friday chart. You begin to see that low pressure get closer to the coast of North Carolina. Now on the European charts, again, this is Friday. You see that rain exiting off to the east, Friday of this week, that rain exiting off to the east in eastern parts of the Carolinas. And then all the way out to next Thursday, there's the Europeans' representation of that subtropical low forming. And then you get out to Saturday of next week, and that low kind of meanders on shore. And so it actually prints out some rain next weekend from that little offshore low developing. Now, finally, this is the Canadian chart. This is valid Wednesday of next week, and then this is valid Friday of next week. And it actually brings it inland to North Carolina, too, and brings some rain. Now, that is going to be very changeable. That could very well wind up staying out to sea. It's a long way down the road. But I just want to kind of point out that it's going to be a warm week next week, and the one, I guess you could say, potential fly in the ointment as we get deeper into the week is what's going to happen with that potential developing hybrid or subtropical type of low. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.